All right, welcome. Today, we're going to build a bridge between two completely different worlds, the ancient wisdom of vital energy and the cold, hard science of our own cellular power plants. We're going to dig into a really radical idea about how our bodies actually function. So let's just jump right in.
Think about this for a second. What if concepts that are thousands of years old are actually describing, just in their own unique language, the exact same microscopic processes that our scientists are exploring today? That's the big question we're tackling.
So here's our roadmap. We're going to start by building two main pillars, the science of ATP and the concept of qi. Then we'll build the bridge that connects them. After that, we'll explore how to supercharge this whole system, and finally, just kind of step back and admire this new, unified view of human energy.
Okay, first things first, let's get grounded in the biology. We really need to understand the basic fuel that powers every single thing you do, from blinking your eyes to thinking a thought.
So, meet ATP. That stands for adenosine triphosphate. Now, this isn't your body's long-term savings account, like fat is. No, this is the ready-to-use cash in your cellular wallet. Every single cell uses it to get work done. You can think of it like a tiny, rechargeable battery that your body is constantly using and recycling. Get this, over 1,000 times a day.
So how do we make this energy cash? Well, it's actually a pretty simple and elegant process. You eat food, right? That gives you fuel like glucose and fatty acids. This fuel gets sent to your cellular engines, the famous mitochondria, where it gets mixed with the oxygen you breathe, and poof, out comes the energy currency ATP, all ready to be spent. And let me tell you, these engines are unbelievably efficient. Just to give you a sense of the sheer output, a single molecule of a common fatty acid can be turned into a grand total of 106 ATP molecules. That is a staggering amount of power from something so incredibly tiny. All right, we've built our scientific pillar. Now let's kind of travel back in time and build our second one. We're going to explore an ancient language that was used to describe that exact same feeling of vitality. Let's talk about qi.
You know, in traditional Chinese medicine, qi is the fundamental life force. And it's not some vague, fuzzy concept. They described it as a real, tangible energy that circulates through these specific pathways or meridians. Picture water flowing through a complex irrigation system, just nourishing everything it touches.
So where is all this qi stored? Well, the main reservoir is called the dantian, and it's located deep in the lower abdomen. Ancient texts really stress the importance of this lower center, the real dantian, as the true root of our vitality. They even distinguish it from a false dantian up at the sternum. And that might just be because this area is a massive hub for the nervous system that regulates our metabolism and organ function.
But here's the thing. Qi isn't just one thing. It has two flavors that are in this constant dance. You have yang qi, which is all about warmth, activity, and metabolism, burning fuel for energy. And then you have yin qi, which is cool, restful, and anabolic. Think repair and rebuilding. Real health isn't about having more of one. It's all about that perfect dynamic balance between these two opposing forces.
So we have our two pillars, ATP from modern science and qi from ancient wisdom. Now this is the really exciting part. Let's build the bridge and see where these two worlds don't just touch, but actually perfectly overlap.
And boom, here it is. This is where the two worlds collide. Modern researchers have proposed a direct link, suggesting that the mitochondrion is the cellular origin of qi, and that ATP is its biochemical unit. All of a sudden, this ancient concept has a physical, measurable home right inside our cells.
The parallel here is just stunning. Inside our mitochondria, there's a process called the electron transport chain. It's this constant, controlled cascade of electrons that generates ATP, and this microscopic directional flow is an almost perfect mirror of the big picture flow of qi that's described as circulating through the body's meridians. Both systems are describing the same thing, the fundamental movement of energy.
And this model shows us exactly what happens when that energy flow breaks down. From our modern perspective, aging and disease are linked to mitochondrial decay. As this picture shows, this leads to way less efficient energy production and a lot more free radicals. You can think of them as a kind of toxic cellular exhaust that causes damage. This state of imbalance is precisely what ancient wisdom would call a deficiency or a stagnation of qi.
So if qi is ATP and meridians are really electron flows, the million-dollar question is, can we actually influence this system? Can we actively boost our own cellular charge? Well, the answer seems to be yes, and the methods might just surprise you.
You see, the key ingredient for your mitochondria is the electron. A steady supply doesn't just fuel ATP production, it can also neutralize all those damaging free radicals. And some fascinating new research suggests we can literally pull these particles right out of our environments. The Earth itself has a natural negative charge, giving us a source of free electrons. And the very air we breathe carries charged particles, or ions, that we can absorb.
Now, take a look at this. Grounding, which is just making direct conductive contact with the Earth, seems to act like a cellular tune-up. One recent study found that mitochondria in grounded conditions produced 11% more ATP while generating 33% fewer damaging free radicals. That's more power with less pollution just by connecting to the Earth.
And what about the air? Well, ancient yogic breathing techniques called pranayama can be seen as a way to literally modulate our body's electrical charge. Breathing through the left nostril, which is associated with the cooling Ida channel, seems to increase the body's negative ions, a very yin quality. Breathing through the right, linked to the warming Pingala channel, increases positive ions, a yang quality. This could be an ancient technology for directly influencing our nervous system.
And the science totally backs this up. Exposure to negative air ions, the kind you find near a waterfall or after a thunderstorm, has been shown to neutralize oxidative stress, boost mitochondrial energy, improve mental clarity, and support everything from your immune system to your sleep quality. It really seems like we're designed to breathe in this charge.
So let's just step back and look at the bridge we've built. What we're seeing is a powerful new synthesis, a unified model of human energy that really honors both ancient wisdom and modern discovery.
The big takeaway is this. These ancient practices, they aren't just metaphors or simple relaxation techniques. You can actually view them as highly sophisticated technologies developed over thousands of years for directly interfacing with our cellular biology. They are methods for managing our mitochondrial health, balancing our energy, and maximizing our ATP production.
Which, leaves us with a fascinating final question. If the secret to qi was hidden in our mitochondria all along, what other ancient wisdom is just waiting to be rediscovered by modern science, locked away inside our own cells? That's all for this explainer.